The LG 29UM57. It's been my daily driver for just under a year now, and I have to say, I am absolutely in love with it. It's been that way since day one. Now it's been replaced by the LG 29UM68P, which you can find linked in this video's description. It's been enhanced in some ways, including the addition of FreeSync, but it's still available for under $300 US. I created a quick review of this monitor several months ago, and albeit shabby quality, so I say it's time to give it an official, proper review. Many of you have asked for it, so here it finally is, a review of the affordable 2560 by 1080p LG Ultrawide monitor. This has got to be one of the most affordable yet usable ultrawides on the market, hands down, and from a great brand like LG. I don't recommend a 25-inch ultrawide, the vertical dimension is too narrow, and for what I do in the desk that I use, a 34-inch ultrawide would be too wide in the horizontal. At this form factor here, just under 28 inches wide, including the frame mind you, it isn't quite so large that the edge hangs off of my desk. I will say, however, that if you plan on using only one monitor for everything, a 34-inch would be preferable, just much more expensive. This is definitely the budget-conscious choice, and I condone that. This monitor isn't very thick either. It's slightly bulges in the back, but it's subtle and still gives you the impression that it's especially thin since the back is contoured in this manner. This one doesn't include built-in speakers, but the 29UM68P does, and from what I've read in the reviews, they're excellent for what they are. The one I have includes two HDMI ports, a headphone jack for audio running via HDMI, and of course the power port. The frame of the monitor is sleek, shiny, and made of plastic with a bold LG logo dead center on the rear, and can be tilted back and forth a good ways, just not side to side, via the included rigid stand. It holds the monitor upright via 2 screws in the neck and 4 screws at the base. The front of the monitor is a pleasant surprise. While I would normally shun plastic, it doesn't bother me because I can't see it. Sure, it's on the bottom bar along with the subtle LG logo, but the bezels surrounding the sides and the top of the display are actually just matte finished continuations of what would otherwise be comprised of pixels. This means you won't see any annoying light reflecting off the plastic, which is good especially in the dark. Below the front logo is a single pivoting controller, good for selecting input modes and customizing display settings, brightness, contrast, things of that sort. It is a bit awkward. I would have preferred dedicated buttons, but at least it's available. There isn't much of a learning curve either. And now onto the display itself. This is an IPS display with a pixel resolution of 2560 by 1080. Pixel density is a little over 90 ppi, and an anti-glare matte finish spans the entire panel. Matte finishes aren't my thing usually, but this one isn't overkill, and being that this monitor sits directly in front of an open window, it comes in very handy. Colors are crisp, vibrant, and relatively accurate, nothing close to full sRGB, but for a matte finish it's not bad, and you won't notice washed out colors in the same way you would on a knockoff TFT panel. Blacks decently contrast lighter zones. Remember, this isn't an OLED panel or anything close to that, but I will say that the backlight is uniform and the bleed is very minimal, especially for a sub $300 monitor. The refresh rate of this monitor is a standard 60 Hz, which is nothing special and it's run-of-the-mill, but I will say that I was able to overclock it very easily to 75 Hz, and yes, I can see a difference. More on that right here. So how about watching videos on an ultrawide? Will they take up the total real estate offered in the 21:9 format? Well, it depends, honestly. In my personal experience, most YouTube videos will not, save ones that are customized specifically for ultrawide resolutions like this video. When it comes to watching movies, whether it be online or via DVD, it's about 50-50. If the format is widescreen, chances are the moving picture will span the entire screen when the window is maximized. This widescreen version of Iron Man is an example, and I must say movies are a joy to watch in this resolution. It feels immersive and captivating in a way, much more exciting than the typical 16:9 aspect. Now, as for gaming, it's going to depend, and I'll defer you to this video right here for a more in-depth explanation of that. Essentially, some games will and some games won't. It just depends on the style of game, whether it's new or old. For the most part, any new game will run in an ultra-wide format, no problem. Older games and first-person shooters I've found, even games like Overwatch, are a bit quirky and will either stretch the image or just cut off the top and bottom. Again, it depends on the game. See that video for more of an explanation. Now, in terms of content creation, ultra-wides are 100% the way to go. Take it from someone like myself. And if you're willing to take the chance, ultrawides will even pay off when gaming. It will ultimately come down to preference, but when you consider the fact that a monitor like this sells for under $300, you really won't be losing much. You'll just be gaining quite a bit of horizontal real estate. Even if you already own a 1080p panel, I would argue that upgrading to just 1080 ultrawide is beneficial and worth your while. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down if you feel the complete opposite, and subscribe for more content like this. Stay tuned for a review of the G-Skill keyboard and mouse combo, as well as an AK racing chair somewhere back there, and don't forget about our RAM test coming up very soon, compiling a bunch of data for that video. This is Science Studio. Thanks for learning with us.